माननीय सदस्य अध्यक्ष जी पधार रहे हैं।
Dear members, I cordially welcome you all to the monsoon session of the Youth Parliament. I hope that this session will be a fruitful one as we sit out and debate the issues concerning the nation. Before we commence the session, the Prime Minister will pay a token of appreciation to the winners and participants of the Tokyo Olympics 2020.
मान लो तो हार है और अगर ठान लो तो जीत है. I would like to heartily congratulate the sportspersons of India who have defined success and shown us once again that with determination and commitment, anything can be achieved. I would like to congratulate all the athletes who have represented India at the global level and proven that India by no means is lacking in the sports sector. They have personified the best of skill, teamwork, and dedication and have hence attained glory. Even they had to go through a lot of problems during the pandemic, but they decided not to stop and kept going. I thank them for inspiring us. We all salute you.
In this session, the new bill, that is, the Juvenile Justice Bill, and the innovative bill, that is, the Rashtriya Khiladi Prostahak Vikas Bill will be discussed. Now, the question hour begins. Question number 101 raised by the opposition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, there is an alarming increase in the rate of death and disability due to the unknown environmental toxicity. This is certainly due to the unknown agents of toxic chemicals and biological agents that are included in their food, air, and even water. Recently, only in AIIMS Delhi, a center had been set up. Madam Speaker, may I now, through you, ask the Honorable Minister, can't the government propose to set up at least one center of this kind in every state? Until then, permit every state medical college to send their samples to AIIMS Delhi to find out the ecotoxicity among the patients.
The Minister of Health may answer the question.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I have an elaborate answer to the question about the latest clinical e-toxicology, diagnostic and research facilities set up by the AIIMS. Simultaneously, toxicity is in many areas like through water, environment and other sources. The Central Pollution Control Board is controlling the water toxicity at present in 4,000 places. The AIIMS is providing the latest infrastructure in this regard and found high toxin levels in 16% of patients. We now stress on this issue that we have already started progressing in this direction. The honorable opposition members questioned if there is any plan regarding to it. Here, I would like to tell them that we have introduced the Kaya Kalpa scheme, which is to improve the sanitation, hygiene, waste management, infection control, and to aiming at the hygiene promotion. Even I assure that the opposition members we will do the need in this direction.
Question number 102 raised by the opposition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, through you, I want to ask the Foreign Affairs Minister about the measures taken by the government on how they have equipped the students to face the racial or any other discrimination when they are studying abroad.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs may answer now.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Through you, I would like to answer the opposition. On July 2020, the Supreme Court gave the approval to the new education policy, which gives permission to the famous foreign universities to establish their administration in India. Through this policy, all those students who wish to pursue their dream study abroad can do that in their home country itself. And to further avoid the situation, there are many universities which have different programs to help students get a mental check on how to deal with discrimination and how the country they're choosing works. Once all this implements, there will be follow-up measures taken too. As we all know, India is a developing country where there is a lot of room for improvement. This is where we are all working hard to achieve eternal success.
Question number 103 raised by the opposition.
Madam Speaker, I would like to ask the ruling party, why is India still importing raw materials from medicines from China, even when India is one of the main producers of drugs and medicines?
The ruling party may answer now.
Madam Speaker,
Through you, I would like to answer this question. Firstly, imports from China have been decreased significantly. Also, many startups in India have been launched by the government for this issue. Also, Madam Speaker, I would like to state that India will be manufacturing its own materials, export goods to the foreign countries, and so will become a self-sufficient country by the upcoming years.
Question number 104 raised by the opposition.
Honorable Madam Speaker, will the Minister of Defence be pleased to state why is the current defence infrastructure of our country so poor compared to other countries? Also, what are the benefits given to the soldiers' families in the current pandemic crisis? Why isn't the government not stressing on the defence sector of our country?
The Minister of Defence may answer now.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I would like to reply to this by saying, even though the infrastructure looks poor right now, India has the fourth strongest army in the world after China, US, and Russia. We are also improving the said infrastructure. This can be seen by the many welfare schemes and welfare funds the government has set up for the army. These schemes help our soldiers and their families even in the current pandemic situation. The government is stressing mainly on the pandemic crisis right now, but this does not mean that the government is neglecting the defense. The government is stressing on it, but protecting our people from the pandemic has the top priority.
Any supplementary questions, please?
Madam Speaker, I would like to request Education Minister through you that can we introduce in the future bills the announcement of internships and scholarships in the universities to encourage the students and make them financially self-sufficient.
The Minister of Education may answer now.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Through you, I would like to answer the opposition by saying that many such programs and internships have already been implemented by our government, like the Digital India Internship Scheme 2021 and the Women Internship Program by Care India. Internships are also offered by the Reserve Bank of India, the External Affairs Ministry of India, the Niti Aayog, and other such government-associated organizations. But the opposition's proposal will be considered, and more such programs will be added at a later date to encourage students to be financially self-reliant.
Now, the question hour ends. I call upon the Minister of Women and Child Welfare to introduce the new bill.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I beg to move for leave to introduce the Juvenile Justice Act 2014.
Yes, please.
According to the Act, juvenile means a person who is, or in the absence of evidence to the contrary, appears to be 10 years old or older, but less than 18 years old. Notwithstanding any other act or law, this act applies to a person who is charged with or alleged to have committed an offense and is under the age of 18 years at the time of the alleged commission of the offense. If a child is under the age of 10 years at the time of the alleged commission of an offense, the child is not criminally responsible for any act or omission. A court or a person exercising a power or performing a function in accordance with this act is to be guided by the following principles. Because of the youth and vulnerability, special considerations apply in respect to proceedings against juveniles, and at all stages, the criminal justice system for juveniles must be separate from that of adults, and juveniles are entitled to enhanced protections to ensure that they're treated fairly and that their rights are respected. A juvenile who has been denied bail and remand entered into custody shall be placed in a remand center or in such place as is approved by the director for that purpose.
The opposition may raise their questions now.
Honorable Madam Speaker, will the Minister of Women and Child Welfare please answer the question? Honorable Minister, how are you so sure that this act will not destroy the mindset of juveniles? After all, we are in the 21st century, and behavioral health disorders are very common. A 2003 report found that the use of juvenile detention facilities to house youth with mental health problems was a widespread and serious national problem. How is the government going to conflict with these situations?
Madam Speaker, it is about 2003 that the opposition member is talking about. But I would like to remind him that it is 2021 that we are living in. With respect to the question asked, the state is providing the juveniles with youth detention centers. Some juvenile detention facilities operate on the foundation of rehabilitating the youth. Different mental health programs are provided to help the youth rehabilitate. The juvenile detention centers and juvenile institutions provide mental health services to the residents. So the state, in every possible way, is trying to take care of the mental health of the juveniles.
Honorable Madam Speaker, through you, may I ask, isn't it morally, ethically, and emotionally wrong to treat a child as an adult? Isn't the bill born due to the juvenile offender in the Delhi Nirbhaya case? How can a law be made based upon only a handful of cases?
If there is no punishment today, there are very high chances that in future they grow up wild. One case is definitely the stepping stone for many others. Nobody is above the law. Then how could you expect children to be exempted from the punishment? It is very clear that the age doesn't matter. The mindset matters. They should pay for the crime.
Madam Speaker, through you, I would like to question the ruling party. The path that the young criminals choose is for no doubt very much wrong. But for a second thought, I would like to put forward a few facts. 56% of the juveniles accused of crimes come from families which have an income that's less than 25,000 rupees per annum. 1 in every 8 juveniles accused of crimes are orphans. 87% of the accused juveniles have never been to high school. Though there have been attempts to improve the mental status of children, all these facts prove that the lack of proper guidance of the young minds is the major reason for the increase in juvenile crimes. What is the government doing on this regard?
So against the fact put forward by our honorable member, I would also like to put forward a few facts to the opposition through Madam Speaker to show that much of the effort is being put by the government in this regard. There are a total of 800 counseling and guidance centers set up in India. The number of orphanages set up in India at this moment are nearly 4,500 and are being increased even as we speak. Nearly 600 crores of rupees have been allocated for improving the mental status of the citizens. The government is trying its level best by implementing programs with many experts involving in it, like the psychiatrists and the child committee chairmen. The programs such as NMHP, which is National Mental Health Program, and Ayushman Bharat have also been implemented. I assure the opposition members that even more efforts will be taken for the betterment of the juveniles.
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदया, न्याय में देरी अन्याय का रूप ले लेती है. I would like to ask the ruling party what changes are being made in the law to shorten the period of justice provided to the victims affected by it. Earlier, it used to take 5 years or more, or sometimes even a lifetime.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It's a very good question. Justice delayed is justice denied. We are trying our level best to limit it and to help provide them justice very soon. New judges are being recruited and new government machineries are being introduced, and we will ensure that they will function properly. We have increased the number of fast-track courts in all the districts. Presently, 597 fast-track courts are working in our country. The second reading and the general provisions of the bill may be read now.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, through you, I would again like to introduce the Juvenile Justice Care and Protection of Children Act 2014. This bill replaces the Juvenile Justice Care and Protection of Children Act 2000. As per the bill, anyone who is less than 18 years of age is a child or a juvenile, and any child who is in need of care and protection is any abandoned, surrendered, orphaned, or sexually abused child. Madam Speaker and dear members, the case of Nirbhaya Delhi gang rape forced us introduce a new law, and thus we came up with a new law, the Juvenile Justice Care and Protection of Children Act 2014. Madam Speaker and dear members, I hereby present you the provisions of the bill. The provisions are: number 1, the Act permits juveniles between age group of 16 to 18 years to be tried as adults for any heinous offences. Any 16 to 18-year-old who commits lesser crime may be apprehended after the age of 21 years. The Juvenile Justice Board and Child Welfare Committees will be constituted in each district and will conduct preliminary inquiry to determine whether the juvenile offender is sent to rehabilitation center or to be tried in court. The Act also provides the eligibility for the parents to adopt the juveniles.
The bill will be considered and the voting will be held at the end of the session. Now, the Minister of Sports may propose the innovative bill for nation building.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for letting me introduce this bill. That is, Rashtriya Khiladi Prostahak Vikas Bill. Firstly, I would like to congratulate the athletes who had made India proud in the Olympics. I'm really happy with the medals count. Everyone knows India is not less talented, but it seems the lack of support in terms of infrastructure, trainings, and financial are not helping the hidden talent. India is one of the most populated countries in the world next to China. There are many people who are talented but have not been noticed. Hockey, being a national sport of India, struggled to get sponsors. It's a great gesture from the Odisha government in supporting men's and women's hockey teams. It wouldn't have been possible for India to get a medal for hockey if the Odisha government wouldn't have supported the hockey teams. We're not able to influence the world with the medals we got. So I would like to bring up this bill where the government can come up with infrastructure development and coach hidden talents of Indian soil, where we can train them and nurture them. We can take inspiration from our neighboring country, China. China is a country where its government supports the ones who are talented from their childhood by providing them required trainings, education, monetary benefits, and with good facilities. Lastly, I would like to conclude that एक उठती हुई ज्वार उन लोगों को नहीं उठाती है जिनके पास नाव नहीं है. हमें उनके लिए एक नाव बनानी होगी. हमें उन्हें ज्वार के साथ उठाने के लिए बुनियादी ढांचा देना होगा.
The bill will be considered in the next session. Now, the Juvenile Justice Bill is introduced for voting. Those who are in favor may say aye.
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 Those who are against may say no.
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 I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The motion is that the bill is to be passed. Now, the House is adjourned.